Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to continue our NFL predictions with the Cincinnati Bengals. A Bengals team that honestly thought they were going to make the postseason. I thought it was going to be part of that AFC contending race, but they weren't. They actually missed the playoffs for the first time since 2020, and most of it had to do with Joe Burrow not being healthy at all. They had a lot of injuries, a lot of bad luck go their way, and the team just weren't that good this year. Hopefully the organization realized it was just a 1 year thing. They could get back to the postseason, get back to the AFC Championship game, and get back to the Super Bowl. And despite going 9-8, they did finish last place in their division. And because they lost their first two divisional games against the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens, week 1 and 2 respectively. But they did go on a little run. They ended up winning 5 out of their next 6, which included a Monday night game against the Rams, Super Bowl rematch, Cardinals, Seahawks, 49ers. Turned out they actually swept the NFC West. Impressive. And beating the Bills before their luck turned on them. Lost to the Houston Texans on the last second field goal. Lost to the Ravens, and that was the game they lost Joe Burrow for the season. Lost to the Steelers because they didn't have enough. But they had 3 wins that could have kept them in the race against Jacksonville, the Colts, and the Vikings. But they did lose to the Steelers yet again. And after losing to the Chiefs, they were out of the postseason race. But they finally beat the Cleveland Browns, so that should count for something. And now for the highlights. They beat the Bills again. What else is new? And then Jake Browning, their backup quarterback, he held down the fort when Joe Burrow went down. Was he good? Was he elite? No. But was he manageable? Yes. Also, I just noticed that little scab injury he had on his arm. In that picture right there. Ouch. But the defense did held down the fort most of the time. Trey Henderson, he was still good. I also feel like the Bengals defense have been very underrated for them as the highlights get shined on the offense. But the lowlights, Joe Burrow's hand and wrist gave out during a Thursday night game against the Ravens. And let's be clear, he was never healthy to begin with, because if you don't remember, after he signed that contract extension, he spent most of that preseason on the sideline nursing a calf injury. He was never really healthy that year, and hopefully Joe Burrow took all the time he has to be healthy. And I hope the Bengals doing the right thing too, or they're going to Andrew Luck his career faster than you can say the word Mississippi burning. But they were terrible, even with Burrow on the field. They were terrible against the other AFC North opponents. 1-5 record in the division. And the only reason they got that last win was because the Browns decided to rest their starters. Now for their additions and subtractions. Mike Gesicki, they added him from the Patriots, who didn't really do much there. Zach Moss, he's the Joe Mixon replacement. Sheldon Rankins, he's joining the team, I believe from the Texans as well. Von Bell, he's back after a 1 year stint with Carolina. And Geno Stone joining from the Baltimore Ravens. They did lose Irv Smith, Jonah Williams, Joe Mixon, like I already mentioned, DJ Reader, and Chidobe Awuzie. They're all gone. Now for the draft, the Bengals. I always feel like the Bengals always have a lot of draft picks because they're one team that do not believe in trading up or down for picks. They believe in take their pick at their spot, regardless of who they are, keep it moving. And they took Amarius Mims, tackle out of Georgia, to help fix that offensive line. They also added Chris Jenkins Jr. from Michigan. His dad played in the NFL. Jermaine Burton, he's a wide receiver joining Alabama, possibly replacing Tyler Boyd. And we get a bonus. And they had a bonus third round pick, which was a compensatory pick, I guess, adding McKinley Jackson, another defensive tackle. But after that, there's not really too much to say about it. But we just hope that the Bengals could go back to their normal form. If not, oh boy, it's not going to be a fun prediction. Let's take a look. All right, Cincinnati, let's take a look at your schedule. And we're going to start off, well, looking at their schedule. Before I even talk about what games they're going to win, I noticed that 3 of their first 4 opponents were 3 of the worst teams of last year, aka number overall pick 1, 2, and 3 of this year's draft. So the Bengals, they're gonna have to get off to a very fast start if they wanna be contenders. Well, anyway, I do have them winning all 3 of those games, and in betwixt those is a game against the Kansas City Chiefs that I have them losing. And it takes us to week 5 against the Ravens. And with this game being at home, and me believing that they're going to split with the Ravens this year, I'm going to give Cincinnati the win there. Followed by a week 6 win over the Giants. A week 7 loss against the Browns. Again, Joe Burrow always struggles against the Browns for some reason. In week 8 against the Eagles, I have them winning that game. Followed by another win against the Las Vegas Raiders. Then week 10 against the Ravens. Like I said, I do have them splitting with them. And followed by another loss with the Los Angeles Chargers. And they have a week 12 bye. Kind of late, but better late than never. When week 13 against the Steelers, I have them losing at home to the Steelers. Because for some reason, the Pittsburgh Steelers always do well at Paul Brown Stadium, or whatever the stadium's called, Paycor Stadium. They always do well there. Week 14, I have them getting stunned on Monday night against the Dallas Cowboys. But week 15, they're going to get back to their winning ways against the Tennessee Titans. They're going to avenge their early season loss to the Browns. I got them beating the Broncos week 17. And then finally, going on the road in Acrisure Stadium, should still be called Heinz, to beat the Steelers, which puts their record at 11-6. A very respectable record for Cincinnati. Hopefully, this year they can stay healthy. And that concludes the Cincinnati Bengals predictions. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Gamble safely, and I'll see you next time.